Hey, this is Dr. Stephen Franson from Chiro Matchmakers. I'm here with my partner and great friend, Dr. Alan Miner. Alan, say hi.
Hey, everybody. Great to be with you. We're talking about associate docs, 2 associate doctors. In our world, the term we use with the utmost respect is you are the talent of the world. When we think of athletes, professional athletes, some of the highest paid actors in the world, they're talent. And in this equation for chiropractic, as a chiropractor, as an associate doctor, you are the talent. You are, you're the keystone for what's possible in a practice. And so we're making this series speaking really to both of you, to owners and to talent, because we work on both sides of that fence. But we wanted to do something that was very specific for those of you who are either have been associate doctors, you're looking at becoming an associate doctor, because starting with why does it make sense for you to be an associate doctor is really, I think it starts the foundation to, as Stephen Covey taught us, start with the end in mind of trying to decide what would be the best associate position for you.
Yeah, man, we both have a big heart for the associate doctor dynamic and the associate doctor talent and doctor owner relationship, because when this is done well, man, when this is done right, it's such a huge win for everybody. It's a win for the owner, the doctor who owns the practice that's hiring the associate doctor. It's a big win for the talent, for the associate doctor being hired by the practice. And it's a big win for the patients, right? Which is, the ultimate win, when the community wins, when we can deliver more life-saving chiropractic care. So we're looking for the win-win-win relationship. So we do want to start right here, and that's the why, right? So docs, clarity around your why is the best place to start. You are so much more likely to get what you want when you're super clear around what that looks like. So we want to make sure that we get clarity here for your vision story. In other words, what does success look like to you? So when we talk about an associate doctor opportunity, why do you want to become an associate doctor? If you're about to graduate and you're going into the field, or maybe you're in the field already, or maybe you've owned a practice and now you're like, you know what, I want to be an associate doctor. The first question you have to ask is why? Why do you want to be an associate doctor? Why do you want to take take advantage of that opportunity, right? So what are you trying to accomplish as an associate doctor? What's your objective? And, Al, we hear a whole list. There's a litany of things, reasons behind this, why somebody would want to become an associate doctor. The most common one is probably just straight up, I need a job, right? I need to get employed. I need to get a paycheck, right? So I need to get paid. I've got cost of living expenses. I've got a student loan I've got to pay back, and I want to save some money. Maybe that's for my own practice one day, but very often the answer is I need a job. I need to get a paycheck, right? And we totally respect that, and we totally understand that. The best thing about these jobs is almost all of them come with a paycheck, right? So let's say tick, yes, you're going to get a paycheck. Now let's put you in a position where not only do you get the best paycheck, but you get the best opportunity with maybe a little bit more of a long view, right? So the big idea here is, all right, so what are you looking for? I know when I was an associate, you know what I was looking for? I was looking for mentoring, right? So I wanted to be mentored clinically. I knew that the fastest way for me to accelerate my success was for me to create greater skills and certainty around my clinical skills, right? I was always a very committed clinician, even through school, and I wanted to immerse myself in an environment where I was going to be mentored and developed by somebody who I looked at as a true expert in the space. So for some of you, you might be like, I need a mentor for my clinical skills and clinical abilities, and it's just a great accelerator for your career. Some of you might say, well, actually, I want to be mentored when it comes to communications. I need help when it comes to marketing and speaking in public. I need to learn how to communicate chiropractic on the marketing side of it, or maybe it's communications from a patient education side of it. I want to learn how to do table talk or workshops, or maybe it's you want to learn how to assemble a team and create a remarkable team and be able to lead a team, and you want mentoring when it comes to leadership, or maybe it's business acumen and you feel like, you know what, I'm feeling really exposed here because when I signed up to become a chiropractor, I didn't realize I was also signing up to become a business owner. And that might scare the crap out of you. The idea that, oh my gosh, not only am I going to be going out being a doctor, which I've never done before, maybe this is a new role for you, but not only am I going to be a doctor, but now I'm going to be a business owner, and that might create some trepidation for you. And this is a place where you can get some laps with somebody else who can mentor you and or lead you. So you know what, your why, it could be a combination of those things. What do you think, Dr. Al? Am I missing any of these?
No, there's very frequently, well, there's a couple ways to look at this. One, you touched on a lot of reasons maybe someone's just not as experienced, and you need some time to get experienced. I mean, one of the big esoteric, hard to measure things in practice is just your basic bedside manner, or number of adjustments under your belt to get your certainty up. And an associateship can be a great environment to do that. What's interesting, though, is we're working with more and more chiropractors, associate doctors, who, as you alluded to, Dr. Franson, they really did not get into our profession to be business owners. They got into chiropractic to serve and to help other people. And that's oftentimes the best win-win situation, is when an associate doctor recognizes, listen, I want to be a colleague. I want to contribute to a team. I'm really not interested in having to stay up at night trying to make payroll, trying to figure out marketing of the clinic. I want to be able to take care of people. And the beautiful, brilliant thing about our profession is there are so many well-run, profitable practices around this country and around the world that are looking for doctors like that go, we've got a great home where somebody can just exercise their skill set, take great care of our people, have huge impact in our community. And when they clock out at the end of the day, they can go home to their life. And that's been fun to see as we work with more and more associate doctors. Is, boy, there are some high caliber docs out there. And I think sometimes because we're such an entrepreneurial profession, we've kind of it's been baked in that really just in order to really do well at this, I guess I'm going to have to go on my own at sometimes. And we're actually here to assure you that you don't, and so a lot of times we have some associates that spend their first few years in a practice cultivating who they are, their techniques, their skill sets, and then they're able to take that into a launch pad into a really successful practice and bring massive value into that practice. As Dr. Franson talks about, I so often see on these question boards here on Facebook, on different mediums, what should I get paid? What's the going rate for a graduate, for an experienced doc? Well, we can get to that later, but there's one thing we want to assure you: money follows value always. And obviously, the more skill sets you have, the more value as an associate you bring to that clinic, the more you can help that clinic serve people. And guess what, Doc? That translates into more value in your pocket, more money in your pocket at the end of the day, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'd like to drill down on that a little bit further, Dr. Al, because the time I spend, we spend a lot of time in front of chiros talking this down, and there's so many misconceptions out there, especially when you start talking to students, right? So we've definitely seen a profession we're in the midst of a profession that is yoked with a belief system that in order to be a successful chiropractor, you actually have to be a practice owner, right? So, truth be told, that is definitely not the truth. So ultimately what it comes down to is what the research tells us is about 30% of people are hardwired to be business owners. 35% are entrepreneurial in nature. The other 65 to 70% are hardwired to be caregivers and probably should never own a practice. And we've got to shift the culture and the dynamic, the appreciation of that truth, because there's it's like neurosurgeons. There's not a lot of neurosurgeons walking around town saying, I'm only a neurosurgeon, I don't own the hospital, or I don't own the spine institute, what have you. No, they're neurosurgeons, and what they have been called to do is do neurosurgery. So as chiropractors, I think it's time that we elevate that part of the profession that is a caregiver who has no interest in the madness of running their own business or being an entrepreneur. They actually want to be a caregiver that adds huge value and creates huge value and delivers huge value for the patients and wants to focus on delivering care. And they really have no interest in leading a business or leading a team, hiring and firing and marketing and having to carry the burden of generating new business all the time. They actually want to just deliver excellence and deliver great chiropractic care. And that's the caregiver side of the equation. So for some of you, you might be listening and being like, yeah, you know what? That's me. Well, having the right associate doctor relationship and the right doctor or associate doctor arrangement is critical here to make sure that you're in the right place with the right agreements, expectations and agreements and put in place with the right compensation agreement and the right recognition and edification so that it's a total win-win-win. Win for the owning doctor who's hired you, win for you as the associates being hired, and win for the patients that you get to take care of.
Absolutely. So in our next video in this series to associate doctors, we're going to drill into the how of this all. You know, what does the practice, the ideal practice model that suits you look like? And there's a lot of different practice models, not just philosophically, straight chiropractic, functional, and there's a wide range there. But also how the practice is set up and how you operate inside of that. So that's what we're going to tackle here on the next series. Watch out for this series of videos. They all string together to build on one another, with the end goal being for us to be able to help pull around you and just lift up our profession, because we rely on associate docs, and we're honored that you're watching us.
All right, thanks, gang. We'll see you on the next video.